These are the 5 most underappreciated NFL head coaches. At number 5, I have Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like he gets credit, but I still don't feel like he gets enough credit. He had elite coordinators last year, that is true. However, he's also a good coach in his own right. I mean, he won the Super Bowl, and fans were yelling for him to get fired last year, which I just totally didn't understand. He was making good playoff runs every single year. I guess that's just how Philly fans are, but I do feel like he is underappreciated within his fan base, just a tad bit. At number 4, I have John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm a Steelers fan, but he is very underappreciated. I feel like no one gives him credit for every single year. The Ravens are a top 10 to 5 team in the National Football League. They've never quite gone over the hump, aside from the 1 year in 2013, I believe, in which Joe Flacco and John Harbaugh won. But since then, it's still been very successful, don't get it wrong, but they just haven't really had any Super Bowl rings. And I feel like that makes him underappreciated by people. But just looking at his actual coaching skills, I feel like he does a really good job. I feel like the playoff losses are more so choke jobs by Lamar Jackson this past year. And it's really just more Lamar Jackson in the playoffs choking than it is John Harbaugh choking. At number 3, I have Sean Payton. I feel as if he's a very good coach. He's elite. We all know this. He's done it. He's been there. He's won Super Bowls in the past, Drew Brees in New Orleans. But I just don't feel like anybody's talking about the Denver Broncos as a legit Super Bowl contender. I think they're exactly that. And I think it's in large part because of Sean Payton. He absolutely helped develop the Bo Nix. I wasn't too high on Bo Nix, if I'm being honest. But, he really surprised me. And he really only did that because of Sean Payton's help. At number 2, I have Shane Steichen. I honestly just don't understand why people think he's on the hot seat and all that stuff. He probably is. But in my opinion, what he's been able to do with this Indianapolis Colts team, with Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson and Gardner Minshew as starting quarterbacks, almost leading them to the playoffs twice, that should be praised. He should have won Coach of the Year in my eyes. I don't understand this one bit, how people are putting him on the hot seat. I think he's honestly a really good coach. At the number 1 spot, I have Brian Daboll of the New York Giants. I think he's a great coach with a bad team, The first year, having Daniel Jones as his quarterback and Saquon Barkley, he made the playoffs that year. Ever since then, it's all fell down. But that's not because of him, in my opinion. It's because of the supporting cast that he's had to deal with. Having Daniel Jones as your quarterback, you're not going to win that way. And, Joe Shane really has to do a better job supplying him with weapons. The defense had to be better. I will give him that. But he's more of an offensive coach, so you can't really fault him for that. And that's why he's my number 1 guy.